This Raw Vision video is brought to you by Metro Solar, proud partner of the Richmond Football Club. G'day Tiger fans, welcome to Raw Vision, brought to you by Metro Solar, and it is the spotlight on round 9. It's Dreamtime at the G. Saturday night, the Tigers take on Essendon. It's always a ripping event, lady. Good to see you back this week. Are you feeling okay, first and foremost?
I'll be right, mate. I'll get through.
It's a big week, isn't it? It's a big build-up to this game. Do you handle it differently during the week around the club?
No, we probably don't try and change too much, you know, depending on what kind of game it is and who we're playing. So we like to keep things pretty level. But in saying that, we've had a couple of Indigenous leaders speak to us on Tuesday, just to give us a bit of background on the Guernsey, which looks great. Look, there's a good story on the website with Shane explaining what it's all about.
Yeah. Do the players feel a little bit more excited though? Because there will be plus 80,000 there. Can you sense that in the group?
Not yet, but I assume when the game gets a bit closer, we will. When there's that. I've got the walk from Federation Square over, but you know there'll be 80,000 there and screaming quite hard for Richmond.
The boys can't wait. Well, let's have a look at the team, and I guess the big disappointment this week is for Ty Vickery. He worked so hard to get back into form, and unfortunately he's been injured. He's a big loss. Yeah,
well, you know, against Collingwood he kicked 3 goals and had a big impact in that game, and also on the weekend against Port he started quite well, and their forward line was functioning quite well with 3 tools down there. So, you know, it's a shame for Ty. Hopefully he's only out for 1 or 2 weeks and we can get him back in that forward line. He
has had a little bit of good news, I think, and he probably will be okay within a week or 2.
Yeah, he ran this morning on the older G, so took a little bit of weight off. Look, he'll try and train next week and try and play against Freo, but if not, we'll bring him back in after the bye.
Beautiful. Let's have a look at the Decor matchups for this week. We'll have a look at either end of the ground because I think that's where it probably will be won and lost. And firstly, we'll have a look at Jack, who I reckon is just about in career best form. But you can probably say the same about Hurley as well, lady.
Yeah, they're whole back 6 in good form, but like you said, Hurley has played on Jack before and done quite well. Jack is playing some pretty good footy at the moment, both up the ground and in the goal square, so you know, it's a hard match up for whoever plays on him. Yeah,
is it the key to beating Hurley to get on the move and create angles, because he's pretty good in a straight line?
Yeah, definitely. He's very strong as well, so getting in a wrestle is probably not ideal for Jack. Jack's smart enough to know that he needs to move around and hopefully sit on Hurley's head a couple of times and take some nice marks.
That'd be nice. He gets plenty of the ball too, Michael Hurley, 21 possessions a game, which is a lot for a full back. Well, down the other end of the ground, it'll be Alex Rance taking on Joe Danaher, who kicked 6 goals last week. Career best day out against Brisbane for Big Joe, and he really is starting to clunk some marks, and I reckon he's just getting a lot more of the footy now, seems to be gaining in confidence.
Yeah, he's, as we know, tall players take a little bit longer to develop, and I think might be his 3rd year now. So, now, for him to kick 6 goals against Brisbane last week, you know, obviously the ball's in there a lot, but you still have to mark it and kick the goals, and that's something he's doing really well at the moment. And Rance will have his hands full against a taller opponent, that's for sure.
Probably have him covered for strength, Rance. You just don't want him jumping at the footy, Joe. Would that be something Alex will work on?
Yeah, I think so. Rance is not the best jumper as well, so if he can keep him grounded and make it one of those dog fights on the ground, that'd be great.
Another player for the Bombers who's in cracking form is Michael Hibbert, lady. And if you have a look at this vision here, he really sets them up off half back. I think he had 15 handball receives against Brisbane, so you really need to be able to shut him out.
Yeah, he's one of those you know, definite rebound half back for him. He does get on the end of a lot of their good work as well, and he starts a lot of their good work. But when he goes hard. He runs really hard forward and does get used a lot, and he has got that penetrating left foot, which can be quite damaging as well.
So what's the tactic with a guy like that? Do you play someone on him, or do you just back the forward in to be able to kick goals on him when he does charge forward?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. You need to have a defensive mindset. You can see here he's going to get 3 touches in this one bit of play. So it's when he gets that 1 possession, you don't let him get those 2 or 3 possessions to really get his confidence up. But in saying that, when we go forward, we have to make him defend, and you know, hopefully we can go through his man a little bit, or his man can get some crumb goals and really make him pay for it on the scoreboard. Yeah,
he really does start their play off with that play on, which they have been doing a bit in the last few weeks. The Bombers playing on a lot. This man here that we're going to have a look at now, Cale Hooker, he was All-Australian last year, and I think he's in better form this year. He's #1 in the AFL for intercept marks and possessions. So does that mean your ball use going forward, you just can't afford to bomb it because he sets them up, winning it back?
Yeah, they've probably got 4 players that are very good at the intercept marks. So Hooker, Hurley, Fletcher and Hibbert, they're all quite good at intercepts. So for us, it's about using our using our feet going inside 50, making sure we're hitting the right target and not bombing it up high, because these guys will have an impact in the air.
Yeah, and he marks it and sets it up the other way. Let's have a look at a player for us. Dustin Martin last week, 29 disposals, but I reckon as a coaching group you would have been rapt seeing that he had 16 contested possessions. Really helped us to win that game.
Yeah, it's something we've been really focused on when Dustin's his contested possession. He's big enough and ugly enough to be one of those players, so we need him to do that consistently. That's a challenge for him to back it up again this week against against the midfield with Heppel and Watson in it. So hopefully he can do that again.
With Vickery out, will he spend any more time forward? Maybe rotating.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Him and Cochin down in that goal square. I think Cochin had some good success last time, kicked 2 or 3 goals. Dustin has in the past, so get our good mids down there for sure.
Now, lady, the last few weeks on the Spotlight, we have been trying to come up with some just inspirational footage to win the game. Now, I think you should show this. This is Dreamtime 2007. That was the 5th goal. That won the game for us, but unfortunately the umpires paid a ridiculous in the back decision.
What are you doing there?
Well, I just couldn't believe that I was ripped off. It was a game-winning goal, lady.
What were you punching the ground for?
Just to let everyone know. But why I really wanted to show this was, look at that there, broken cheekbone, broken nose and 8 stitches above the eye. Jeez. That's hard, mate. Now, you missed last week because you had a little cold, so maybe just take one of those.
Thanks, mate.
Show that to the boys. If that doesn't get them up, nothing will. Good luck, lady.
Thanks, mate.
It's going to be a ripper. That's the Spotlight on round 9, MCG Saturday night, Dreamtime at the G. Make sure you get there.